Okay, MrLucidLJ, anger much, dude. What is going on? Okay, MrLucidLJ made some comments on the video that I uploaded yesterday. It was called ROH versus TNA. Hold your horses, people. The gist of that video is that I'm saying that just because ROH had this new deal does not mean they're gonna suddenly overtake TNA. And because I've heard a lot of people talking about how, oh, TNA, you better look out. They're right on your heels. They're gonna take your spot as number two. And I'm just putting some other things to perspective. It's not that simple. And MrLucidLJ had some issues with some comments that I made. So if you go over to the comment section on that video, you can read the comments. So let me just address these really quickly. Make sure, I'm not sure which order he posted them in. So the first one I see on the page says, so TNA, they weren't online and got like 100,000 viewers a week. You don't think that ROH can do the same by being on the internet? They can gain huge exposure by doing this. I agree. Totally agree. The point is, internet. The point I'm trying to make here, that internet shows don't equal ratings. It's not the same as TV ratings because it's just online. Of course, they can get a lot of viewers with the show online. I live in Korea, and I watch the NWA Hollywood show every week. I mean, yeah, people all over the world, anyone on the planet with a high-speed internet connection will be able to watch Ring of Honor because the show is online. That's a very smart move by the company, and yes, it will get them huge exposure. It will gain them. It'll probably help with the pay-per-view buys and live events. So yeah, that's totally a positive. I'm not saying that that's going to be an issue. In fact, that's um, an avenue that's going to give them an actual bit of an advantage over TNA, where TNA should be doing that too. I think by now TNA should have long since started putting Explosion online for people who are outside the UK, because it only airs internationally, and American fans, we have to go look through it on YouTube and hope somebody in the UK records and uploads it just to be able to watch it. But yeah, that'll help. I was mainly referring to like TV, the issue. That, just because they get people watching the show online doesn't mean they're gonna help them, compete with TNA on television and things of that nature. And I actually hurt their television rating because people might, instead of watching the show on TV, might decide to just watch the show on the internet out of convenience. I mean, now I live in Korea, so I have to watch any American show online because I don't really have a choice. But around 2008, late 2007, early 2008, I still lived in the U.S. and I stopped watching. In 2008, I pretty much stopped watching most shows on TV. I was still in the U.S. and I could watch shows on TV, but I just started just watching everything on the internet. It just became a lot easier for me to do because I did, like, I was in college and I did all my homework and stuff on the computer, and I was going on the internet to find information, and I just started just transitioned into watching all my TV shows on the internet. So, and I wonder, there's probably other people who do the same thing. Let's see here. The second comment, he said, you think TNA makes money? Look how much it lost over the past 9 years with all their bullshit bringing in old guys and shitty booking. You just hate ROH, and you can't admit the fact they will be bigger than bullshit of TNA. Okay. If TNA was losing money for 9 years straight, Panda Energy would have pulled the plug on them years ago. I mean, even if it turned into just a draining money pit, it would. Let's see, this is 2011. So if TNA had been losing money since, let's see, 10, 9, 8, 7, since 2007, by now Panda Energy would have put the plug on it. So the company is obviously turning a profit. They wouldn't be around as long as they are now if they weren't making a profit. They're probably, I mean, you could argue that they're not making as much money as they should or could be making, but if they weren't making money, they would have been out of business at least 2 years ago. So to try to make the argument that TNA isn't making money, that's just ludicrous. The company's been around like 9 years. You don't last 9 years without making some profit. Could they and should they be making more? Probably so. But don't think that they're just consistently losing money. Bringing in old guy, shitty booking, yeah, whatever. A million people a week seem to disagree with you on that, MrLucidLJ. Actually, about 1.5 million a week seem to disagree with you on that. Or either that or they don't have any problems with the old guys coming in. Personally, I like Sting. And I like seeing Disco Inferno last night, too. So, anyway, you just hate ROH and you can't admit the fact they will be bigger than bullshit of TNA. Alright, what have I ever done or said that would suggest that I hate Ring of Honor? I don't hate any wrestling promotion. I don't take wrestling seriously enough to actually hate a promotion. Now, I've always said that ROH simply does not appeal to me, and for many reasons. My reason has always been that I think there's too much wrestling and not enough focus on storylines and characters. As I have said in my videos in the past, I have always made it pretty clear that I am a storyline and character-driven wrestling fan. I watch professional wrestling for that soap opera aspect. I want to see a character, a unique and somewhat interesting personality, and a storyline. I don't really care about 5-star matches. I don't give a fuck about the matches being super. I told you, I don't need 5-star matches. I want 3 with a good story. I care more, I've said this before, I personally care more about the storylines and the character aspect of wrestling than I do the actual match. That is what drives me as a wrestling fan, but I am just one man. Personal opinion. And I know what people are going to say. Well, if you just care about the story, why don't you watch a soap opera? And to that I say, if you just care about the fight, why don't you watch MMA? If you just want to see 2 people fight, watch a real fight instead of a fake one. Anyway, again, it's personal preference. ROH is simply not my preference. Not everything appeals to everybody. I have every right as a person to not be into ROH. You have every right as a person to not be into TNA. We're different people. But I do not hate Ring of Honor. I wish them nothing but success. I want there to be more success in wrestling. You know, a couple weeks ago I did a video talking about how you could have 5 big promotions on TV. Not only do I want Ring of Honor to be up, I want the NWA to make a good big comeback. I want there to be other companies that come up and go big. The more good companies we have on a national scale, go on a national level, the better the wrestling business is as a whole. There's more interest in the business, there's more fans being made in the business, more money to be made, more money for the wrestlers to make, more opportunities for every wrestler out there. I do not hate any wrestling promotion, and I do not wish bad fortune on any wrestling promotion. I want ROH to be bigger, I want TNA to be bigger, I want 2 other companies to come up and be on a national scale as well. Can't admit the fact they'll be bigger than bullshit of TNA. Bullshit is your opinion. And I never said they could never be bigger than TNA. I said it's not gonna happen in a year. I said it's gonna take time. Last comment here he said was, how do you know that in 2 to 5 years they won't take over TNA? There are a lot of TNA fans who are pissed off with the TNA product and want to actually Oh, okay, you had a little typo there. That's confusing. Okay, and want to actually see real pro wrestling brought back to North America. This is different to the HDNet deal because it has more reach than HDNet has. Do you realize when a network has affiliates with Fox, ABC, NBC, and CBS are not important? You have got to be kidding me. Alright, I think I understand what all you're trying to say there. Okay. How do you know that in 2 to 5 years they won't take over TNA? I think you meant overtake. They're not going to buy TNA and take control of the company. Become bigger is what you're referring to. I understand that. In 2 years, not a chance. In 5 years, possibly, yes. With good growth, good exposure, more money being made, yes, Ring of Honor could become a bigger, more recognizable company than TNA in 5 years. Not in 2. That's not enough time. I don't care how great Ring of Honor is. 2 years isn't going to be enough time to do it. 3 years, you can see a gain. 5 years, yes, that's possible. 5 years of very good growth and good business decisions by Ring of Honor could help them get up to as big or even bigger than TNA. Yes, it could. But that also will require a lot more bad decisions on the part of TNA. Excuse me a second. Had to take a drink of juice. Keep in mind, again, this Sinclair thing is only in 22% of homes. So not as many people are going to be able to watch TV. They're not going to be able to do any type of head-to-head competition with only being in 22% of homes. The internet thing, you can watch the internet show anytime, so you can't really count that. If it really depends on how much bigger the Sinclair group is and how much Sinclair is willing to let other non-Sinclair owned affiliates broadcast the show. A lot of TNA fans who are pissed off with the TNA product want to actually see real pro wrestling brought back to North America. I don't know what you mean by real pro wrestling. Just because it's the type of pro wrestling you prefer does not mean it's the only real pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is, really, if you really look back at the history of pro wrestling, the most successful pro wrestling is more tuned to the stuff that I like than what Ring of Honor is. Look, wrestling has always been driven more by characters and storytelling than it is athletic ability. The biggest stars, the biggest draws, the biggest money makers in the history of wrestling were all great characters. They were great because of their character. Hogan was a draw because of his character. Randy Savage, rest in peace, was a great draw because of his character. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, John Cena of today, they're all big money makers because of their character and their storylines, not their wrestling ability, not how many 5-star matches they put on. Hulk Hogan never put on a 5-star match. Stone Cold Steve Austin never put on a 5-star match. The Rock never put on a 5-star match. John Cena's never put on a 5-star match. Maybe Randy Savage. I always loved his matches with Diamond Dallas Page, but that's a whole nother topic that's not related to this one. Yes, this is different from HDNet. People will actually see this. How many people actually had HDNet? How many homes was HDNet actually even in? I never even. Real pro wrestling brought back to North America. Yada yada yada. That's just rhetoric. Don't come to me with rhetoric. Come to me with facts and information. Okay. Has affiliates with Fox, ABC, NBC, and CBS. Yes. But they're not going to be on in prime time. They're not going to take, Fox still puts on what's in prime time. That's another thing you have to really keep in mind. This is going to be in syndication. So it means it'll probably be on like a Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. It's not going to be on in prime time. They're never going to get the good hours. You will this is syndication. No market is going to have Ring of Honor on. None of these Fox or NBC or CBS is going to have on Ring of Honor between the hours of 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. You're not going to see it. It's going to be like Saturday. I think I heard it's going to be like Saturday nights at 11 p.m. That's going to really, how many of you out there listening to this video are going to stay up till 11 o'clock on a Saturday night to see Ring of Honor? Most of you not. You're gonna watch it on the website. You'll probably wait till Sunday morning and watch the show online. Really. I like TNA a lot, but I'm not staying up till 11 o'clock at night to watch TNA. It's a 2-hour show, so I gotta stay up. I either gotta stay up till 1 a.m. to see the show, or wake up at 11, or go to sleep early and get back up at 11 to watch it. No, I'm not doing that. I'm waiting the next day and watching it online on freaking YouTube or something. Anyway, what else? Yeah, I think that's all he commented on. Again, I'm not hating on Ring of Honor. Like I said, it's not my thing. It just doesn't appeal to me as a fan. It's not my thing. I want something a little different. I told you, I'm a storyline and character driven wrestling fan. That's what I'm more interested in. If Ring of Honor starts putting more emphasis on storytelling and character development, I'll probably watch it more. But if it's what I see now, where I watch the opening, where the freaking opening match is 20 minutes, that bores me. I'm sorry. I don't want to see freaking 20-minute matches every freaking episode. That's not what I want to see. That's boring to me. If that's what you want to see and that's what they do, go ahead and watch and enjoy it. It's not my thing. I want storytelling more than I want freaking matches, okay? Yeah, so I'm good here. I think I've addressed the comments. So, wow, this video took me 15 minutes and 50 seconds and still counting. Wow, okay. MrLucidLJ, calm yourself down, brother. This is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.